Hi everybody, welcome. I'm Lynn from EJG'S. It's so happy to have you here today. Happy Monday and happy St. Patrick's Day if you're celebrating. My sister said she was going to be watching today to see if I wore anything green. And so here is my little bit of green. This is a little vintage pin that I found one time at an estate sale. I don't wear green clothes. So this is my ode to St. Patrick's Day. I hope all of you are having a wonderful day so far. And we're just glad you're here. EJG'S is in Medina, New York. We're a little brick and mortar shop. Or you can find us at EJG'S.com. Megan's here with us today. JR's lurking around in the bathroom.
Oh my gosh. That's no
in
one's
the background.
Excuse me?
JR.
In the background.
Come here, JR. Tell everyone, well, on this side. Tell everyone what day it is besides St. Patrick's Day.
This is my lovely wife, Patty. This is my lovely wife, Lynn, also known as Ellen. Today is her birthday.
Yes, she shares her birthday with St. Patrick's Day. It's Mom's happy birthday today.
Kisses on camera. You know, I don't want to mess up your lips.
Yeah, I know, right? Thank you.
So
Thank you
can
very
wish Mom a happy
much.
I'll go back to the bathroom.
You know,
Yeah,
it's
go back to
funny.
your lurking.
Yeah. You know, it is true. Today's my birthday, and having a St. Patrick's Day birthday, I always got all of the, like St. Patrick's Day things. I had an aunt that bought me a green dress every year on my birthday, and my mom would find me little things, and so it's really sweet. But am I Irish? That's always the other question. No, not a bit. Not that we know.
Excuse me, you sound
Do I sound a bit Irish?
You do.
I don't know what that sounds like, but anyway, we're so glad you're here today. Since I don't wear green and I don't get into like the whole like green beer and do this, that, and the other thing.
You like a Reuben.
I do like a
You'll
Reuben.
partake in a
I
Reuben.
do. I love a. In fact, I'm shocked we don't have them delivered today.
I didn't. I was offered, but
It's okay. It's all right.
Yeah.
It's okay. Anyway, Megan's dad often will drop off a big round of Reubens for everyone, which we always appreciate. So anyway, I am going to make something green today, green and foresty and magical and all of that stuff. So I'm very excited about this. Let me flip the camera down and we will get started.
you won't even wear like a green like I will that has like a lot of blue in it. Like this kind of
Well,
green.
I guess
like
I never have. I'll have to ask my mom because I look good in colors like that she looks good in.
Same, I do too. But like there's like a green that like a Kelly green I think I can wear. It has,
Maybe?
like,
I've never done that.
Emerald.
Emerald green?
Yes, you could wear.
Oh, all right. Well, so maybe I'm just going to have to try
I'm
it.
the same. I look putrid. Absolutely putrid in green.
Those olivey kind of, oh
Yes.
my gosh.
But I like to
yes.
accessorize. I love green.
Oh,
so I
but
like
you
to
know what?
accessorize
The
with
people
it.
that look good in green look amazing
Warm
in green.
tones,
And that's like Rebecca.
Yep, Katie, my sister Katie.
And Katie look amazing in those beautiful warm greens. But anyway, enough about that. Let's flip the camera down and let's get started on this project because it's going to be really cute and special.
Laura Hall, Melissa Jacobson would look both great in those colors.
Oh, they would. You're right. So we are going to be featuring some of the new Decoupage Queen collection, okay? And you can see these here. Megan is going to do a collection list. We'll get to that in just a minute. We are also doing our custom wood arched frame, that 2-part set. So we'll do that.
There's also the IOD arched frames are back in stock. Finally, you could use that as well.
Yeah, so you could size up on these and do a bigger size and have something beautiful. So I'm also using the cloche mold. I have already given this to 2 coats of the Pentart Bonding Primer because I'm going to be decoupaging right over top of this. And then, of course, we're going to add a little gold because there is a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, right?
You're really leaning in.
I'm leaning into this, absolutely. I also grabbed, which Megan didn't know, a couple of toadstools. We might use these. I've had these done. These are just little sample pieces that I've done with you live, or you know, I just have them hanging around here. So I thought I had an idea for these. And then the other things we'll get to as we use them. Of course, our decoupage medium du jour is Pentart's Decoupage Varnishing Glue. So to spare you all of the base coating nonsense, I've already...
Can I just let them know real quick where they can find all of those
Sure,
things?
just let me say this real quick. Through the magic of TV, I have already base coated these with a light color paint. I did front and back because, as you know, any thinner wood, although these are very, very sturdy, you don't want them to warp. So you've got to make sure all sides are sealed so you don't have this going on. Okay? So while Megan talks to you about the collection, I am going to begin decoupaging some of these elements, starting with the back, and I will be using this beautiful woodland tree here. Take it away, Megan.
That is part of the Enchanted 4-pack,
Yep.
which you can find in the collection I made for today, because Mom just listed off a lot of different products, I know, and they are all together in a collection for today. It has the same title as today's live, and it also has the date of today's live. It's linked in the description up above if you're watching on Facebook, or down below in the description if you're watching on YouTube, or you can go to EJG'S.com. If you're watching on a mobile device, if you're looking at EJG'S.com on a mobile device, in the upper left-hand corner there's 3 little lines. Click on that and look for the menu item featured on our live tutorial. And you just look for today's date, the title of the live, and there you'll find links to everything she's using. If you're looking on a computer at EJG'S.com, it's going to be right up at the top of the website. You'll find that same menu item featured on our live tutorials, and that's where you'll find it all. And I'll remind you again of that later.
So what I've done is this particular 4-pack, the A3 4-pack, this image fits just perfectly in the outer frame. So I don't want that to move. So I'm going to get it started with some decoupage medium. We're going to give it a good old squirt here. Whoops. And at least get an anchor strip started. I'm not removing all the white edges, and you know why, because it's going to be covered up with the frame. So let's get that down. And then we're going to move up here. What a beautiful collection this is. And when I was like, oh, do I want to do the dandelions in the back of this? And then I started thinking, because there's this little dandelion, we don't have it here, but there's one with all these beautiful dandelions on it. But then I thought, no, you know what? When I saw this and these tiny little mushrooms, things started clicking. And I'm like, oh, I know exactly what we're going to be doing. And I'm going to give this a nice coat over the top. And then we're going to let that dry. And let me double check this just to be sure. And I think we have got it. We've got it. Perfect. Perfect fit. This little size right here. So let's put that aside to dry and we'll get started on the next piece. Let me get that little corner down there.
Are you using this today, Mom?
The Pigment Fix in Gold. Well, of course.
Okay.
But of course, I forgot to tell you that. But
That's okay.
You know what? I mean,
Very easy to fix.
on St. Patrick's Day, you know, there's a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. So we're going to use some gold glitter and a little bit of gold, my favorite gold paint. So
I need to ask Rebecca what happened. She texted me in a panic late last night that Hattie set a trap for a leprechaun. And Rebecca had never heard of that and didn't know what to do. And that's not something I've had experience with either.
well,
And the worst part was the trap. She set the trap right next to her head where she was sleeping, and it was filled with jingle jangly coins. In order for Rebecca to do anything, it would have to be very, very carefully. And I was thinking, okay, maybe like some Skittles or any evidence that maybe a leprechaun was there, but
so is that a thing
I
that
guess
you
it's a
get?
thing. We
I
were
guess it
frantically
is.
Googling. But I
Wow.
I swear who she's really trying to trap is her mother,
Yeah.
because she's very smart.
I think you're right. I think you're right, Megan. I do. I think you are
So
right.
I'm looking forward to finding out how that went.
This little fairy harlequin is so beautifully textured. There, when you look at this, there's beautiful little bits of faded texture and bubbles and so forth in the background. And I love the color play that's going on here. But we're going to do the frame. And I was playing around with this and realized we've got this side here. If I line it up with this left side and then go over here, we have a perfect fit this way to make sure that the edges of these diamonds match the edges of these, if you know what I mean.
I think I do.
So I am going to hold that down again and get this started. Can you guys hear me okay? I'm going to move this a little forward. Sorry. Keep getting my head in the way, my big old head. Are any of you celebrating on this day? Those of you that maybe have, well, they say everybody is a little bit Irish on St. Patrick's Day, which I don't know what that means. In the Irish culture, what are some traditions? What are some things that you kind of are known for? The Blarney Stone, of course. But if you're Irish, speak up. Let us know.
Say your piece.
All right, so we're going to
Lots of people with children who have birthdays today as well.
Well, I'm going to share something with you guys. So, you know, I am a baby boomer. I am 66 years old today, and I am on the last edge of that baby boomer era, born in 1959. Well, seems like a lot of kids in Medina were born in 1959. So, and on that same day, I should have said on St. Patrick's Day in 1959. So we had, I'm going to name some of them that have a birthday today or yesterday or tomorrow. Okay. We had Mickey, Tammy, her sister, Gina, Patrick,
Wow.
Laura. And they all went to high school with me, obviously. And they all have birthdays within, so lots of moms delivering on that day in 1959.
You know, I've been staying with Grandma Rosie for about a week now. And so I've been catching up on a lot of morning news programs, which is not something I typically indulge in. You know, just your Good Morning Americas, your CBS This Morning, your Kelly and whoever she's with, Mark Consuelos, I think now. Just things have been off my radar. And what you find are a lot of factoids on these shows. And just today I learned, and there's no way around them because the TV's at about 1 trillion decibels. And I love it. I'm loving every minute of it, actually. I'm actually having the time of my life staying with her. But One thing I learned today is that there's been a survey, some sort of survey. You never get really the details on how these surveys are done. But people between 18 and 49, 57% of them are uninterested in having children right now.
Is that right?
Yes. Because they've seen that the birth rate has gone down quite a bit significantly.
It sure has.
And they're uninterested. And there's lots of different reasons why. But yeah.
Yeah, isn't that something?
Most of it seems to be that they're just putting a little more thought into it, I think, than we used to. Which is for the best, I think.
I know, seriously.
Like, oh, it seems pretty expensive. These kids seem costly.
Kids these days
take a lot of work. Seems like, and they keep on, you seem to have to keep them for a long time.
Right? Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah, they do hang around for a while, don't they? So I am just kind of eyeballing this. You can probably see what I did is I trimmed a nice straight edge here, and I'm going to now trim around the outside here so that I can decoupage this down. I did a nice flat trim here. We got a little bit of a little thing that pops up there.
Patrice is 28% Irish.
Hi, Patrice. So see this, oh, sorry, I keep forgetting about my head being in the way.
I know, and I'm on a delay, so I notice it too late.
See this little thing right here, this little bit of the mold trim? So I just cut that little triangle out to work around that. And then this, I kept a nice straight edge up here as well. So I want to get that lined up.
Happy birthday, Kathy. It's Kathy's birthday, too.
Hey, happy birthday, Kathy. Lots of St. Patrick's Day birthdays. Okay, and now I'm ready to decoupage this down. We have to let all of these pieces dry before we move on. Whoops. Slip sliding. But I know this is actually going to be really pretty. So it can be, obviously I'm using greens because of St. Patrick's Day, but this definitely is carrying a little woodland vibe to it. And I just think it'll be really, really sweet once I get it done. I did something kind of similar with Terry Lightsey when I did a Decoupage Queen Saturday making session, and that was fun. It had that swan in it. Somebody actually bought that swan.
Yeah, that was a really good one.
It was so pretty from the winter collection. Oh my gosh, that was pretty. But same kind of layout. Oh, I cut this a little bit short. So what do? We're going to bring in just going to trim out this little bit right here and piece that right on here. That's what I love that about like rice papers, is they just blend and piece together so easily. Once I do that, and then we get our triple thick glaze on there, it's going to be, nobody will even notice it. Plus it's going to be sitting right along the edge. But there it goes. Perfect. All right, so what do you say while these are drying, and I'll probably have to use that heat gun a little bit, but we'll mix up some gold paint as well. Well, no, I don't want to mix up that gold paint yet because I'm going to use that in a couple of different ways. Okay. Oh, you know what I forgot, Megan?
What?
water.
You got it.
Thank you.
That's easy.
That's an easy one. Okie dokie. And let's start getting these dried. So forgive me, I have to turn on my heat gun. But hey, speaking of mushrooms and morels, thank you, Sandy Darris, for the beautiful card. And it is full of seeds. It contains bird's eye, clarkia, black-eyed Susan, sweet alyssum, snapdragon, and catchfly seeds. So I can put this right in the ground and cover it with about 1/8 of an inch of soil, and this will sprout. These are actual flower seeds in here. So you can bet I'm going to try this, Sandy. Thank you so much for the lovely card. I just think it's really precious. All right, let's do this. Sometimes it's tough to know how to layer and assemble a collection of decoupage papers. It can be tricky for some of us to put the right colors together and so forth, but that's what I love about a collection. Especially the collections like that Teresa does, so many of them, she uses color matching so that, for example, you know, if there's a lot of pink in the collection, which there was this time, she'll use that same pink color in the Harlequin and in the pink backgrounds so that you can put all different combinations together and know that they're going to look good. And that's the same with this particular collection right here. You can put any of these together and they're going to look good, no matter what the sizes are. So the other thing that I like to think about is that theme that I do. And in this case, I kind of alluded to it in the beginning, is I was going to go in one direction, and then I thought, oh my gosh, no, these tiny little mushrooms. And those tiny little mushrooms led me to these mushrooms. Actually, I wonder if I should have done those on there instead. They're smaller. No, I'm good. We'll see. We'll see. So that's kind of the way that I think through that. But honestly, you know, I also like to, if I've got a lot of pattern going on, I like to add something that has more structure to it. So this is a softer pattern, and by that I mean it's a little more free form, a little more flowy. I keep looking at this and it's like, I want to do those smaller mushrooms. Yeah, I'm going to. Sorry, you guys. I got to tear this off. I have to tear it off. And this is what happens to me. This is exactly what happens to me, is I think I'm going to do one thing and then I do something completely different. But I'm looking at the size of this. And again, size is very important as well when you are putting all of these elements together. I think this is going to be better. And I'm just going to turn that out. Yes, I do bite into this big mushroom, but that could also be
poisonous.
This could be used as some. I'll save all of this because all of these elements can be added to another mushroom themed or woodland themed journal page, for example. And I can layer right over top of this. This would actually be really good on a journal page. I'm gonna save that. Yeah, the scale of this is so much better, you guys. So much better. I don't know why I didn't think of that before. I did think of it, and then I changed my mind. So anyway, I like to do a softer element that is a little more organic and then add add something a little more graphic, like the Harlequin, like checks, like stenciling a damask. Even though it's flourishy, damask tends to be a linear composition, and I think that it is a really nice option to add to something like this paper here. Also, typography. I love adding some typography elements to these, to my compositions as well. I just think they mix well with the graphic bits and the softer, more organic stuff. I love to add a little typography to everything when I'm doing mixed media.
When are you not doing mixed media? Honestly?
I love doing mixed media. Speaking of mixed media, this Sunday, it's Ohio, and we are doing the coolest project. It's a whole art box. I would love to teach that here too. It would be so fun. Let me trim this out just a little bit more. And I only think there's still a couple, like maybe 2 seeds left.
For Extending Grace?
Which is great.
Oops, sorry.
Ooh, that's a new one.
Well, that's my alarm to remind August to get Grandma the toasting bread that she really loves.
Oh, from Wegmans.
He got her some that she just really loves.
She told me it had seeds in it and stuff.
Yes, and cranberries. She really loves it.
All right, now we're getting back to business here. Back into business. Anybody running like a marathon, or are you going to be in a St. Patrick's Day parade or
Drunk?
anything?
Are you drunk already?
Are you going out bar hopping tonight? Oh, Lord in heaven. No, thank you. These are the kind of nights it's like, yeah, you know what? We'll just stick around home. Like, I never knew that, like, the day before Thanksgiving was such a huge thing for the young folks. All right, now let's get this one dried. Look at that bright bit of light that pops through right there. So the colors in these all kind of go together. The deeper greens, that dark Wellington green, the lighter, bright sunlit kind of color on there, that teal. All of these can be found in these papers, and they just work as beautiful companions together. So I have to say, I confess I was thinking about, which could be another super cute idea if you have somebody who loves fairies, or if you do, like imagine like just putting this little fairy inside the cloche would be adorable. Adorable. If that's your thing. Like, how cute would that be? Oh my gosh. So cute. I was tempted, and I was going to call it a leprechaun.
Extending Grace says that if someone really has their heart set on it, they can still go sign up at the website.
Oh, great. Okay. Okay, I'm going to flip this over and just use my knife to trim this out. Then we'll come back in with some sandpaper a little bit later. If you are coming and you didn't catch it, I did put a post in the group for the Extending Grace Retreat to share a sneak peek and of what we're doing, and also to kind of create a little list of what you'll need to bring with you. Actually, that made a nice clean cut there. All right. I need some new blades for my X-Acto knife.
I feel like you say that every week.
I know, I swear I do. Look at that. Oh my gosh, that perfect little arch. Like, just so, oh my gosh, that is perfect. And honestly, you could do another one of these if you wanted to do a set of them. Put that in the background, capture that fairy under a cloche, and then do maybe get the bigger, like the A4 of this one. It's got all those beautiful like vines and ivy, or this would be so pretty around the outside edge of the frame. Oh my gosh, you could do so much with these papers. But I love that there's this because you can use that for another insert. All right, now let's get these edges off.
Cheryl's making shepherd's pie for dinner.
Ooh.
Judy said those fairies would look gorgeous in the Forest Fairy journal that she's working on right now.
So good. Yes. So good.
Delroy said her kids live in, how do you say the name? B-U-T-T-E, Montana. Butte?
Butte. Mm-hmm.
And it was the second largest celebration of St. Patty's Day for many years, second behind Boston.
Really?
Second behind Boston, yep.
I'm just taking my little sanding tool here to get any little extra bits off of here that might be lingering. But let's take a look at how that looks. Oh my gosh. Look at that, Megan.
Beautiful.
That is so cool. All right, let me dry this one. And then we're going to start to put all this together. I'm so excited.
Jamie says, here in our little town of 150 people, we have a turkey toss the Wednesday night before Thanksgiving. You throw a raw turkey into a toilet. The distance can be 12 to 15 feet for the winners. It's hilarious.
That's funny.
It's a huge night for families in town that want to have fun. What in the world? That's the biggest party night of the year, you know. The night before Thanksgiving.
Yeah, yeah. I love the way this looks. I love this. Oh, but we're not done yet, you guys. we are not done yet. There are some special little surprises coming. Got to get just a little bit more. I'm so happy the arched gallery blank is back, but I gotta say, I love our mini ones like this because it's so easy to decoupage and in two different sections, in two different parts. Oh my gosh, a cloche. Okay, so imagine this, a whole piece, like even 3 in a row, or a little triptych of these little captured fairies under cloches. A triptych is 3 pieces of art joined together.
Maps you used to use.
Oh, you're right. Well, this one's TRIPTYCH, I think.
Okay.
I think, yeah. Oh, I like that so much better, that scale. And now we're going to add some gold to it.
Hi, Deborah.
Okay, so see what I did? I sanded off just a tiny bit of this, so I'm going to go back and piece a little bit of something right there from that leaf color, because I just can't leave it like that. So I'm just going to grab a tiny little bit of this leaf color. And again, you're not going to see it from 10 feet away, but I just don't want that there. So let's just add that in, and there we go. I feel better about that. I feel better already. Okay, so we're going to now start to assemble this and add the other pretty little details. So, of course, we are going to use my favorite gold paint. Our favorite gold paint. You guys know it by now. It is our Pentart Pigment Fix and some gold pigment. Come on, you. So let me pour some of that out. You don't need to mix a lot of this at one time when you're working on such a small bit here. So about 3-to-1 pigment fix to pigment powder. Oh, by the way, look, I just bought a whole bunch of new brushes.
Oh. Now, why would you do that when we sell beautiful brushes here?
We do, but these are for my like everyday kind of like scrubby kind of brushes. And with this pigment fix and pigment powder, you really got to mix this in well. Make sure that all of that powder is dissolved well. And boy, you don't want to mix it fast or hard. Don't go in that way, because it is those little, that gold pigment is so fine. It literally just goes everywhere here. So you got to get it all wet and then mix until all of the powder is dissolved.
Hey there, Carol Beals.
Hi, Carol.
Beautiful.
Isn't it so pretty? And then we'll start to paint a little bit. let's paint this inside edge right here.
Oh no, I'm going to sneeze. I'm going to take my microphone off. Is that all? Okay.
Only one? Wow.
Oh, nice.
They usually come in pairs, at least.
Sandy's decoupage papers came today. That's great.
Isn't it exciting to get a package in the mail?
Yes.
I love it.
Oh, it just never gets old watching you use that.
I know. It's molten metal. And it's these little details that just make your piece, I think, stand out. All these pretty little details. After I glue these two pieces together, I'll mix a little more of this gold to do the outside edges, but I don't want to do that until after it's put together. So when I do glue this together, right away, JR and I will get it clamped between two like books or two boards, something to keep this the whole thing flat and stable, and then we'll use clamps to hold it all in place so that it makes complete contact all through here and goes together nice and flat. And then you know what I like to do here. I love to take that brush and add what I think looks like a tiny little bit of gold soldering right around the edge, just to make that stand out. This dries really quickly too, which is nice.
The gold paint is Pigment Fix, Pentart Pigment Fix mixed with Pentart Metal Pigment in gold. You can find all of these things in this is a good time, I guess, to remind you, because I see lots of people popped on midway through. So all of the things that Mom's using you can find in the collection list that I made for today. That's linked in the description up above on Facebook, down below if you're watching on YouTube, or on EllenJGoods.com under the menu item featured on our live tutorials. You just click on that menu item. It's a drop-down menu. Look for the title of today's live and the date, and you'll find links to everything she's using, including that gold paint.
Now, I know that I talked about this week doing another video with the new Pentart products. I think I'm going to wait until next week, you guys, because I'm working on lots of samples, and I want to make sure that I have a lot of different techniques that I can show you with that cracking plaster. And I'm going to tell you right now, it is so amazing. It is not like the cracking paste. It is totally different. So I'm playing with some different combinations of that with inlays, with other, like the loft spackle. So I've just got a lot going on that I want to be able to show you. So I think I'm going to hold off on that. And then Vasilis and I are going to be doing a live together, sharing the brocante and magnesia powder and the textured primer. and we'll be working to create concrete effects with that. So that'll be coming up too. Gia and I are going to be scheduling a fun live together. That'll probably be very early in April. Oh, sorry. Let's let that dry. And now we're going to come over to this little guy here.
Jennifer wants to know, could you just use the plaster stuff from the hardware store for like $10?
Well, I don't know. I've never just used the plaster stuff from the hardware store. It's obviously...
I think we should do a video and try them side by side.
I think that they are formulated in a special way for, not for plastering, but for creating certain effects. They're very, very lightweight products.
But sometimes we get questions like that, and
sure.
maybe it would be fun to just see and really show the difference.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I should have started my hot glue gun.
Marnie was playing a serious game of Go Fish with her grandkids. Can you mix the metal pigment into any clear varnish?
I don't know. I appreciate all these questions. I really do. I typically kind of stick to what I do, what I found has worked best for me. So I would encourage you, try it. You know, try
it's
a little.
Just what works best for you. That's how Pentart has instructed it to be used.
Correct?
Right,
right. Yeah. But I think, you know, you'd have to try it. Yeah. Try mixing it into one of the Pentart varnishes or whatever, you know. I think you just have to try it and let us know. Yeah. Just let us know. Yeah.
But that's a fair question.
It is a fair question. Absolutely.
But that's how Pentart developed it. It's to be used with the pigment fix, correct?
Metal pigments can be used with a lot of things. You could mix it into heavy body gel. You could mix it into a lot of different things. But one of the things that I'm always a little cautious about is creating that kind of advice when I don't know what kind of varnish you have. I only use the products that we have here, so I wouldn't know how it would work with your varnish or your paint. I know what works with what we use here. Does that make sense?
I understand you're saying off-brand, but that's a good question. I really thought it was only meant to be used with the pigment fix.
Well, I think it makes it a much more stable. Yeah.
I didn't know that you could mix it with other Pentart products. I didn't know that about metal pigment.
I think you can, yeah.
So I don't think she was necessarily asking about just any old brand. Just like could it be mixed with other things besides pigment fix? Have you tried that?
I have not. I've used it with our Chrome Effects.
The pigment fix you have used with Chrome Effects?
No, the metal pigments.
How would you mix that with Chrome Effects?
Rub it on with the wax. Or not with Chrome Effects. I'm so sorry. With the dipping paint.
Okay, I could see how that would work. Do you need a primer coat for the new crackle paste?
No. Okay.
That's kind of cool.
Little gold spatter.
That you don't need a primer coat?
Nope. Oh, wait a minute. I'm so sorry. When you say a primer coat, I'm thinking like a primer, like a wall primer or something, a paint primer. It's a two-part system. It's a cracking plaster and a cracking plaster primer. Those two work together to create the cracking.
So actually, yes is the answer.
Yes, I misunderstood the question.
You were getting them back to back there.
I know, man. You guys, what are you doing to me today? Do I put a little bit of gold on here? I think I might.
I think you
Couple
should.
little spatters.
You have this glitter too, don't forget.
Yep, I know.
Carol thinks the Pentart concrete sounds very interesting.
Oh, for sure. Just a couple little sparkles, like fairy dust. Okay, let's dry this. I hope I can save this. Probably not. Oh, I wish I could capture this shimmer of the gold for you guys. Those little sparkles. All right, then this is going to sit in here just like that. Oh my gosh. That is so cool. Then I was outside grabbing some twigs.
I wish Melanie was here. This is a very Foraging with Friends project.
It really is. So these are my twigs. I picked those from out back. They are dead twigs from the forsythias out back. And here is what I'm going to do. I am going to glue and bundle these together with a little ribbon. And we're gonna glue also and add a little bit of gold glass glitter to this. I also have a teeny tiny little bottle. Leah brought me a whole bunch of these, and we're gonna kind of tie that into place. I have these mushrooms. You guys tell me, do you think we should add these? I kind of like that extra bit there. You know what? I don't even care what you guys say. I'm doing it.
Wow.
So let me get these wires off. This was one of those techniques I shared live where I inserted the wire while this was, of course I don't have my wire cutters on me. There we go. While the resin, when I poured the resin, and then I pulled it out and I twisted it when it was still a little bit soft and warm to create like different shapes of these. You guys have probably seen me do that, but yeah, I do like this. I like this on there very much. So let's get this little jar filled first. I just need a little something to put it on. Just put a little gold glitter into that jar. Then I'll be probably tying this on here. I'm going to be all thumbs, but I'll wait until my glue gun is ready. And I have a little bit of moss. So let's see, let's get these on here first. Oh my gosh, so good. I'm going to lay this down with some heavy body gel.
Nope, she didn't glue it on yet. She's doing that now.
Get that on.
A little piece of Pussy Willow would be very cute in that
So
bundle, I
cute.
agree.
I want to make sure that
Wouldn't that have been perfect, Mom? That little tiny thing of gold for the leprechaun to have left.
Yep, and that's going to be going on here. Oh, for Hattie?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. She is trying to catch her mom with everything. Tooth Fairy, Santa, all of it. Right? Okay. Now, in actuality, guys, before I added these, I would have sent this downstairs to JR and we would have glued all of this together to glue it nice and flat, but we'll work around it and clamp it together. But and then I would have come back and added these elements. But I wanted to show you how it was going to look all finished.
Laura said, I've never used heavy body gel. What is the difference between using that and the Quick and Thick?
I don't know. It's just a different medium, and I started using it when I saw other people using it. And I know Vasilis has used it and says like that it helps to keep like your molds from cracking. Like when you lay air dry clay down.
Interesting.
Yeah. And it did work on these. Remember when we did these? Like I used heavy body gel. This is clay. It never cracked. It never cracked.
So that's why you chose it in this case?
Well, no, because I just liked how I can brush it right on.
Okay.
And
I guess I could see where you could maybe mix things with it where you couldn't with Titebond.
maybe, yeah. But I do like the fact that you can really brush it on and it's, you know, it's just a nice option. Okay, you guys, I want you to sit right there. It's going to take a minute for all that glue to dry, or cool, whatever you call it. So we'll give that just a second. I'm just going to put a dab of this glue on the bottleneck. It's going to make it easier for me to tie this off.
We're going to need a new jingle for heavy body gel. You're right, Susan. Tracy said, I recall Vasilis saying it worked because it shrinks with the clay as it dries.
Okay, that makes sense. Yep, thank you. I feel like I'm not answering questions well today.
But I think it's great because it just shows us what we need to do a bit more research on.
Mm-hmm, for sure. Come on, you. It's still soft. That glue is still kind of soft. And I don't want to mess with that too much right now. But I am going to take a little bit of this heavy body gel. And we are going to dab a little along here.
Victor's here. He says happy
Hey,
birthday.
thank you, Victor.
I hope
Victor
you
just
do
had a
something-
birthday too.
Oh, happy birthday to you, Victor. I didn't know.
He had one on Sunday. Last Sunday.
He said, I hope you do something special today. You deserve it.
Aw, thank
I got
you.
her cake, her favorite, well, one of her favorite cakes. We're going to have it with Grandma, so Grandma can celebrate too.
Okay, now I'm going to take just a little touch of this gold.
And then I don't know what else you're going to do. You're going to do something special with JR?
I don't know. I just want a little bit of this gold sprinkled. We'll let that dry. That's all oh my gosh.
So cute.
That's so cute. Don't do this, what I just did. This is glass glitter, and if you get this stuck in your hands, oof.
Yeah, or under your nail.
Or under your nails, I know, seriously. What am I doing?
What kind of cake?
Oh, is it,
Well, I'm
is
sure
it a
she could
surprise?
guess.
German chocolate?
No.
Chocolate with white icing.
No. Well, great. Well, I guess it's
Coconut
not a favorite
cream.
cake. Nope.
Coconut cake.
Nope.
wait.
It's the ultimate white cake.
Oh, I love that too.
Gee whiz. What a letdown.
All right, that is holding. Well,
thank you for saying that, Sandy, but it seems I wasn't so thoughtful.
Yes, you were. You know what? Honestly, pretty much any cake will do.
Well, I really did try to get one I thought you loved.
Yeah, I do love it. It's off my radar.
And I really didn't, like I said, I've been staying at Grandma's, so it's not like I could get to a bakery that does a great German chocolate, or I certainly wasn't going to be making one in Grandma's kitchen.
My mom always used to make me a German chocolate cake.
Well, not this year.
Nope, not
Not
this.
this year, honey.
Nope, I know.
That's Dad's favorite, too. And it's actually not a fun cake to make.
No, and I also love our family favorite chocolate
Yes.
birthday cake.
No, it wasn't really a surprise, Laura. It just was tough to hear her list 7 different cakes before she got to the one that I thought she wanted. So that was a hard pill to swallow.
Oops.
Like it seems the cake will be hard to swallow for her.
No, it will not.
Your head is in the cake.
I do love it, but you know
Your
what?
head.
It's because Wegmans was kind of off my radar. You know, I don't get there that often.
Guess what? It was right on Augie's way back from college.
I
so
love
it worked
that.
out great. Great for me when I was been trapped at Grandma's.
Exactly. No, I love it. I appreciate it. I think
Your
it's.
head is right in the
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
okay.
it's wonderful, and I look forward to having a big old piece of that cake.
Well, Grandma has been eyeballing it all
I bet she
day.
has been. Okay, so the last thing that I'm going to do right here is I am going to add some of the triple thick.
It's actually my least favorite kind of cake, that cake.
Is it
the
really?
white, yeah.
Oh no, I'm sorry.
What do I care? It's not for me. I love carrot cake. Cheryl, the right kind of carrot cake.
Yeah.
Wegmans carrot cake, yes, is my favorite, actually. Wegmans does, if you have Wegmans where you are, they do a series of cakes called the Ultimate Cakes. And they really are just like the ultimate of very basic cakes. Like a carrot, they do a chocolate, they do a white. And they're just basically a perfect version of each of those cakes. They really are.
I like the icing on them too.
Yep.
I'm very
texture.
fussy about my icing.
Yes, me too.
This is a triple thick glaze, so it's going to give you a beautiful glass effect over this.
I wish they did a German chocolate.
It's self-leveling. It's really thick. There's also a fusion. There's also a pentart pouring resin. Any of them will do. This just happened to be on my cart today. Oh my gosh. Okay. That's our finished project. Isn't that the prettiest
That's a
thing?
great touch at the end.
That's really, really pretty. I know my head was in the way. Sorry.
It's hard. It just wants to focus away from
I
your
know.
project.
I know. Maybe one other thing, because I did mention that I like some typography. So
Especially on this, because it's kind of sciencey.
a little bit sciencey. So I think I'll add maybe.
Watch your head.
I'm sorry. I'm going to find, these are my little Tim Holtz labels, and I use these so much. I don't like that one. I'd like one that was like, says like specimen or something. Or a little oval up at the top. Oh, figure. There we go. I'm going to put that one there. Okay. I'm going to drop it right onto that glaze. Okay. And maybe find, because I like things in threes. Maybe a little oval right up there. I don't have a glue handy right now, but I think I'll put a little oval up there. And then I'll take, see, it's got to be the right color. No, I like this one instead. There, I like that. And
Everyone wants a little pussy willow.
oh, that would be so
A little
cute,
specked
right?
feather, yes, that would be so cute.
But isn't it fun? Like, you literally could do anything with this. You could combine this with any papers you could combine, as long as they all coordinate, and they're like the label, you know, like we talked about, how to coordinate them all.
Hey, Debbie.
Oh, this one says botanical histology. I'm going to put that one right there. Oh my goodness. I might change that. That looks a little too pink for me. This is where you guys, seriously, it's like, okay, I'm going to literally spend way too much time looking for the right piece, the right color, the right shape. Too blue.
Yes, Carol says she's reminded of the shadow box group from last year when we used the mushrooms and branches.
I know.
Yeah, that toadstool decoupage paper is so good. The Monahan.
All right, well, I'm gonna find the right thing here. Maybe that. I'll do that. And there's our finished project, you guys. So thank you for hanging out with us. That was fun. And I hope that you enjoyed this.
I almost think it would be pretty with like a little glitter at the top of the
It could
cloche.
be. Yep, it sure could be. So let's move this out of the way and say our goodbyes. All right, I hope you enjoyed today's project, and I hope you have a wonderful St. Patrick's Day. Happy birthday to those of you that are celebrating today. We will see you on Wednesday. I kind of am not sure exactly what I'm going to be doing. So it's going to be a surprise for all of us.
We're going to figure it out.
But we will definitely figure it out. Thanks again. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and we will see you on Wednesday. Bye, guys.
Bye.